Be me. 32F, work in digital marketing for a tech startup. You could say I'm professionally woke. My friends call me the walking Vox article. I take it as a compliment. Married to Andrew, 33M. Met in college, married for 5 years. He's a software engineer, classic STEM Lord type. Sweet guy. Stable. Reliable. By all normie metrics, I won the husband lottery. But that's the problem, isn't it? It's all so traditional. Lately, I've been feeling trapped, not by Andrew, but by the institution of marriage itself, a patriarchal construct designed to codify ownership of women. I spend my days deconstructing systems of oppression and my nights coming home to the most normative system of them all. It feels hypocritical. I read the articles, listen to the podcasts. Esther Perel, polyamory influencers, relationship anarchists. The algorithm knows me. My entire explore page is just infographics about compassionate non-monogamy and testimonials from thruples who summer in Portugal. It all looks so liberated, so honest. My best friend is Nikki, also 32F. We've been inseparable since freshman year. She's a high school English teacher, sweetheart, but a bit of a romantic traditionalist. Still believes in the one. I've been trying to enlighten her for years, gently trying to peel back the layers of Disney-induced programming. She just smiles and says, I just want what my parents have, bless her heart. The catalyst arrives, in the form of Julian, new guy at work, senior graphic designer. He has a sleeve tattoo of what looks like a Virginia Woolf quote, wears ethically sourced beanies, and talks about his ayahuasca retreat in Peru. He's basically a walking, talking cliché of my exact type. We have this insane intellectual chemistry. We flirt over Slack, quoting Foucault and Butler. It's all very cerebral and very hot. There's a tension there that I haven't felt with Andrew in years. Andrew's idea of intellectual chemistry is us doing the NYT crossword together on a Sunday morning. It's cute, but it doesn't exactly set my soul on fire. One night, I'm doom scrolling through Instagram, see a post from an influencer I follow. It's a picture of her husband, and her girlfriend, all holding hands on a beach. The caption is some long spiel about loving freely and decolonizing our love. It hits me like a ton of bricks. This is it. This is the answer. I don't want to leave Andrew. I love him in my own way. He's my family. But I also want to explore this connection with Julian. I want to have my cake and eat it too. And why shouldn't I? Is that not the ultimate feminist act? To refuse to choose? To have it all? I decide to talk to Andrew. I spend 2 days planning my speech. I gather my talking points, my sources, my arguments. I'm treating this like a dissertation defense. Theses. 1. Monogamy is a social construct. 2. Our love is strong enough to evolve. 3. This will actually make us closer through radical honesty. I'm ready. It's a Tuesday night. Andrew just finished doing the dishes from the dinner he cooked. He's on the couch playing some retro game on his Nintendo Switch. Zelda, probably. He loves the classics, the picture of domestic tranquility. Part of me wants to just leave it, to just be happy with this. But the other, stronger part of me, the part that read Judith Butler in a dorm room and felt seen, says no, you are more than this. Hey, can we talk? He pauses his game, gives me his full attention. That's Andrew for you. Of course. What's up? I launch into my prepared remarks. I talk about societal pressures, the limitations of the nuclear family model, the evolution of partnership. I use words like paradigm, construct, heteronormativity. I can see his face trying so hard to follow. He's nodding, but his eyes are getting wider. He looks like a dog watching a magic trick. I finally get to the point. I think we should consider an open marriage. Silence. The only sound is the faint dungeon music from his game. He just stares at me. You mean, see other people? He says, his voice small. Yes, but with honesty and communication. We'd have rules. Of course. Check-ins. It's not a free-for-all. It's an evolution. Andrew, for us. I sound so confident, so enlightened, like a guru, sharing ancient wisdom. Is this because of someone? He asks. Ouch. Direct hit. It's not about someone. I lie. Sort of. It's about a principle. It's about me feeling like I can be my whole self within this relationship. I deflect, recenter it on my personal growth journey. Classic move. I'm good at this. He's quiet for a long time. He gets up, walks to the window, looks out at the street. I don't want to lose you, Sarah. His voice cracks. On my name. A pang of guilt. But I push it down. This is for our own good. He just doesn't see it yet. You won't lose me, I say, coming up behind him, wrapping my arms around his waist. This will make us stronger, I promise. He doesn't say anything for another minute. Then he sighs, a deep, heavy sound that seems to come from the floorboards. Okay, just like that. Okay. Okay? Yeah. If this is what you need to be happy, then okay. I'm shocked. I was prepared for a fight, for tears, for weeks of debate, but he just capitulated. A part of me is relieved. The other part is a little disappointed, and a tiny, dark corner of my brain whispers, he's weak. I ignore it. This is a victory for progress. We spend the next hour setting rules. It's mostly me talking, him agreeing. Always use protection. Duh. No bringing partners to our home. We have to tell the other person before a first date. No falling in love. I insist on this one, for his sake. I know I'm capable of separating sex and emotion. I'm not so sure about him. We have a veto power. If we're uncomfortable with someone, he agrees to all of it. He looks hollowed out, but he agrees. When we go to bed, he turns his back to me. It's the first time in years. We haven't spooned. Small price to pay for liberation, I tell myself. The next day, I feel electric. I tell Nikki over lunch. I expect her to be shocked, maybe even disapproving. But she just listens. Her expression unreadable. Wow, Sarah, that's a big step. It's the right step. Nikki, for me, for my autonomy. And Andrew? How's he taking it? He was amazing, so supportive. He understands that my happiness is paramount. I frame it as his enlightened support. Right, she says, slowly stirring her iced tea. But is he happy? The question hangs in the air. His happiness is tied to mine, I say, a little too quickly. He'll come around. He just needs to deprogram himself from all the monogamous conditioning. Nikki just nods and changes the subject. I feel a little annoyed. Why can't she just be happy for me? Why can't she see how brave this is? That afternoon, I tell Julian, we're in the office break room, getting coffee. So, my partner and I have recently transitioned to a non-monogamous relationship structure, I say, trying to sound casual. His eyes light up. Based, he says. Radical honesty. I love that. I was wondering if you'd be interested in exploring our connection outside of a professional context, I continue, my heart pounding. He gives me a slow, handsome smile. I thought you'd never ask. We make plans for Friday nights. I tell Andrew on Thursday, hey, just so you know, I have a date on Friday. Oh, okay. With who? He asks, not looking up from his laptop. Julian, from my work. Okay, have fun. That's it. No questions, no jealousy, no emotion. It's almost unnerving. It's what I asked for. Radical honesty, no drama. But a part of me wanted him to be a little jealous, to fight for me. Just a bit. How childish. I scold myself for the reactionary thought. Friday comes. I spend 2 hours getting ready. I wear a dress Andrew has never seen. I feel like a teenager again. It's thrilling. I go to kiss Andrew goodbye at the door. He's on the couch again, same spot. He sort of flinches when I lean in and just offers his cheek. It feels cold, clinical. Have a good time, he says, eyes glued to the TV. Weird, but whatever. I'm off to my new, liberated life. The date with Julian is fine. We go to a pretentious wine bar where everything is natural and tastes like compost. He talks, a lot, mostly about himself, his ayahuasca epiphanies, his critique of late-stage capitalism, delivered from his iPhone 17, his ex-girlfriend, who was too emotionally demanding, red flag. But I ignore it. The intellectual spark I felt over Slack feels more like a lecture in person. We go back to his place. It's a minimalist loft, with one chair and a mattress on the floor. Of course it is. The sex is also fine, a bit performative, like he is trying to win an award for being a considerate lover. I leave around 1 a.m., feeling strangely empty. I get an Uber home. When I get home, the apartment is dark. Andrew is asleep in our bed, on his side, facing the edge. I slip in next to him. The space between us feels like a canyon. I expect to feel guilty, but I mostly just feel nothing. Just tired. The next few weeks fall into a pattern. I see Julian a couple more times. It fizzles out. He's boring. His radical ideas are just regurgitated podcast takes. I go on a few dates with guys from apps. It's a nightmare. Guys who say they're ethically non-monogamous but really just want to cheat without consequences. Men who are emotionally stunted, weird, or just looking for a fetish. This isn't the glorious utopia I imagined. It's just a lot of admin and awkward small talk. Meanwhile, Andrew is a ghost in our home. He's polite, but distant. He stopped cooking for me. We eat separately now. He spends most of his time in his home office or out of the house. Where are you going? I ask one Saturday as he's putting on his running shoes. Just to the gym. He started working out again, a lot. He's losing weight, getting toned. He looks good, better than he has in years. He's also started going out with his own friends more, friends I've always found boring. His old college buddies, they go for beers, play D&D, whatever it is these nerds do. He seems happy, but not with me. His happiness exists in a separate sphere that I am not invited into. I try to talk to him about it. Hey, we haven't really connected lately. I know, I've been busy. Is this about the open relationship? Are you okay? I'm fine, Sarah. This is what you wanted, right? We're being honest. We're living our own lives. He uses my own logic against me. It's infuriating. He hasn't gone on a single date. I ask him about it. I'm just not interested right now, focusing on myself. I feel a wave of relief and pity. Poor Andrew. He can't handle this. He's not built for it. He's just going to wait for me to get this out of my system. The thought is both comforting and vaguely insulting. I talk to Nikki about it. We're at our usual brunch spot. I just don't get it, Nikki. I gave him this gift, this freedom, and he's not even using it. He's just shut down. Nikki puts her fork down. Sarah, did you ever consider that maybe it wasn't a gift? What do you mean? Of course it was. A gift is something the other person wants. Did Andrew ever say he wanted this? I open my mouth to argue, but nothing comes out. He's not you, Sarah. He might not see the world the same way. Maybe he was just happy before. Her words are quiet, but they land like punches. He said he was fine with it. I mumble, defensive. Did he say it, or did you tell him he would be? I have no answer. I feel a hot flush of anger at her for not taking my side. You're just saying that because you're a hopeless romantic, I snap. You don't understand. She looks hurt. Maybe, she says, picking up her fork again. Or maybe I just know Andrew. The conversation leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I start to feel a creeping anxiety. The thrill of my freedom has completely worn off. All I feel is this growing distance from my husband. The fun is over. I want to go home. I decide to end the experiment. A few months have passed since the talk. It's fall now. One night, Andrew comes home late. He's been going out more after work, with friends. He says, he seems different tonight. There's a lightness to him I haven't seen in a long time. He's almost glowing. You seem happy, I say, trying to sound casual. I am, he says, smiling a genuine, unforced smile. It's so beautiful, it almost hurts to look at. I had a good night. Oh yeah? What did you do? I had dinner with a friend. Oh, anyone I know? He hesitates for a second. Actually, yeah. It was Nikki. My brain short circuits. Nikki? My Nikki? You had dinner with Nikki. Why? She was having a tough week at school, just wanted to vent. We grabbed a bite. It sounds innocent enough, but my stomach is in knots. Since when do you and Nikki hang out alone? I don't know, we just started talking more lately. She's easy to talk to. I'm easy to talk to. I want to scream. Talk to me. But I don't. I just nod. That's nice. My mind is racing. Something is wrong. This is wrong. The next week, it happens again. Going out with Nikki again? I ask, my voice dripping with sarcasm I can't hide. Yeah, we're going to see a movie, he says, completely missing my tone. This is getting weird. I call Nikki the next day. Hey, so you and Andrew are hanging out a lot. I try to make it sound like a fun observation. Oh yeah, it's been nice. He's really funny. I never knew how funny he was. Funny? Andrew. He tells dad jokes. He's just been a really good friend lately, she continues. He gives great advice. Advice? About what? A cold dread washes over me. They're talking about me. My jealousy, which has been a low hum for weeks, is now a screaming siren. This is not supposed to happen. The rule was see other people, not become best friends with my best friend behind my back. I try to rationalize, they're just friends. I'm being crazy. I'm the one who wanted this. But I can't shake the feeling that I've lost control of the situation. One Saturday, I'm supposed to go on a date. Some architect I met on Hinge. I cancel. I can't do it anymore. I don't want to. I want my husband back. I wait for Andrew to come home. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna tell him the experiment is over. We can go back to normal. He walks in around 9 p.m. He has that happy glow again. I can't stand it. Andrew, we need to talk, I say, my voice trembling. He knows this tone. He sits on the armchair opposite the couch. Okay, I'm done, I say. This whole open marriage thing, it was a mistake. I want it to be over. I look at him, expecting relief, expecting him to rush over and hold me. He just looks at me. His expression is calm, too calm. Okay, he says again. Okay, that's it. I'm saying I want to go back to how things were. Just us. Sarah, he says, and his voice is gentle. We can't. It's like the floor drops out from under me. What do you mean, we can't? I'm the one who started this. I'm ending it. It's not an experiment anymore, he says, looking me straight in the eye. Not for me. What are you talking about? He takes a deep breath. I've been seeing someone. I laugh. A sharp, hysterical sound. Seeing someone? Andrew, you've been to the gym out with your nerd friends. Who could you possibly be seeing? I sound cruel, and I don't care. I've been seeing Nikki. The name hangs in the air like poison gas. I stare at him. I think he might be joking. A cruel, twisted joke. His face is dead serious. Don't be ridiculous, I whisper. Nikki is my best friend. I know. You and Nikki are… what? You're sleeping together? He nods. One simple, devastating nod. And the rule? I practically shriek, my voice cracking. The rule was no falling in love, my own stupid rule, thrown back in my face. I know, he says again, and his voice is full of a quiet sadness. I broke the rules, Sarah. I'm in love with her. I think I black out for a second. The room is spinning. My husband is in love with my best friend. No. No. How could you, I whisper. How could she? It just happened. You were gone, Sarah. You were on dates. You were living your other life. I was lonely. She was lonely. We started talking. About everything. About you. Of course. She listened, he says. She actually listened. She didn't try to fix me or tell me my feelings were a product of patriarchal conditioning. She just saw that I was hurting, he continues, his voice getting stronger. We fell for each other. It wasn't planned. It wasn't malicious, but it's real. I feel a rage I have never known, a white-hot, blinding fury at him for being weak enough to fall in love with someone else, at her, for this ultimate, unthinkable betrayal, but mostly at myself. I did this. I orchestrated this whole thing. I handed my husband to my best friend on a silver platter. Get out, I say, my voice dangerously low. Sarah, get out of my house, I scream, and I start grabbing things, anything, and throwing them in his direction. A cushion, a magazine, the stupid TV remote. He doesn't even flinch. He just stands up. My stuff is already packed, he says quietly. I'm staying at a friend's for now. He walks to the bedroom and comes out with 2 suitcases and a backpack. He had this planned. He knew this was coming. He stops at the door. I'm sorry for how this happened, Sarah. I truly am, but I'm not sorry that it did. And then he's gone. The door clicks shut. I stand in the middle of the living room, surrounded by the wreckage of my own making, and I just collapse onto the floor and sob. The aftermath is a blur. I call Nikki 100 times. She doesn't answer. She finally sends me a text. I can't talk to you right now, Sarah. I'm sorry for the pain, but this is real. Andrew and I are together. I block her. I block them both on everything. I take a week off work. I tell my boss I have the flu. I spend the entire week in my apartment, which is now cavernously empty and silent. I drink wine and reread our old texts, Andrew's texts. Have a good day, beautiful. Thinking of you. Don't forget we have that thing with your parents on Saturday. I already put it in the calendar. Nikki's texts. Brunch this weekend? You will not believe what happened at school today. He's not good enough for you, Queen. It's a eulogy for a life I murdered. The divorce papers arrive a month later. It's fast and clean. Andrew doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want the apartment. He doesn't want half my savings. He just wants out. It's the most humiliating part of it all. He doesn't even hate me enough to fight me. I'm just an inconvenience to be dealt with before he can start his real life. With her. I try to get back out there. I go on my apps, the same faces, the same sterile bios talking about the Enneagram and hiking. I go on a date with a guy who tells me he's a relationship anarchist. I almost throw my water in his face. I can't do it. The whole scene seems like a pathetic joke now. All my theories, all my principles, they feel like ashes in my mouth. 6 months later, I'm at the grocery store. I'm in the freezer aisle, trying to decide which brand of sad single-person ice cream to buy. And I see them. Andrew and Nikki. They're standing by the checkout, laughing about something on his phone. He has his arm around her waist, and she's leaning her head on his shoulder. They look disgustingly happy, sickeningly content. Nikki is glowing. She looks more beautiful than I've ever seen her. She's not wearing a power suit or talking about dismantling the patriarchy. She's wearing a simple sundress and looking at Andrew like he's the only man on earth, the exact look of Disney-induced programming I used to mock her for, and on her left hand, a simple, elegant engagement ring sparkles under the fluorescent lights. I literally duck behind a display of frozen pizzas. My heart is pounding out of my chest. I watch them pay for their groceries, their hands brushing as they bag their items. They look like any other normal, happy couple. The kind of couple I used to look at with a smug sense of intellectual superiority. I was above this. I was evolved. They were the normies, stuck in a construct. Now I'm hiding behind a stack of DiGiorno's, spying on them, my heart broken into a million pieces. They leave. I stay hidden for another 5 minutes, just in case. I abandon my shopping cart and walk out of the store. I sit in my car and just stare at my reflection in the rearview mirror. I look tired. I look alone. I pull out my phone. A masochistic impulse takes over. I unblock Nikki on Instagram. It's the first thing on her feed. A picture of her hand, with the ring, held in Andrew's hand. The caption, "The easiest yes. I can't wait to spend my life with my best friend. I love you, Andrew." Thousands of likes, hundreds of comments. So happy for you both. You two are perfect together. I scroll through the comments, a spectator at my own funeral. I was so obsessed with deconstructing the fairy tale that I didn't realize I was living in one. I thought I was the protagonist of a radical feminist text. Turns out, I was just the villain in their love story. It's been over a year now. They got married last month. A small ceremony. From what I could gather through the social media grapevine, I saw a picture. Nikki in a simple white dress, Andrew in a blue suit. They were standing under a big oak tree, holding hands, and they were both beaming. I have my empty apartment. I have my very important job. I have my principles. I have my autonomy. I have all the things I said I wanted, but I lie awake in a bed that's too big for one person, in a silence that is no longer peaceful, but deafening. I had a man who loved me, and a friend who was my sister, and I thought freedom meant having more. I didn't realize that true freedom was having enough, and knowing it. I traded my happiness for a theory, and now I just have the theory. Some nights I open my laptop and look at their wedding photos. He looks at her, the way he used to look at me. I wanted an open marriage. It backfired. I played, and I lost.